a chartered accountant by profession, Mr. R. Iyengar, Mr. Rangarajan Iyengar. Rangarajan sir is currently working as a PhD research scholar in the School of Management, IIT Bombay. Previously, he has worked for Citibank from 1990 to 1991. He has won many awards in Citibank and many service excellence awards. He has also worked as senior partner of a national firm, and he was in charge of West and the North Zone. He was statutory auditor for Cipla for 13 long years. He was also stat auditor for Power Grid Corporation, Pramerica Life Insurance, ONGC, and quite a few years he has spent as a stat auditor. He was also internal auditor of Reliance Industries for more than 2 years, and then with Glenmark and with UFO Movies and many other groups. Mr. Iyengar has been working with the Rotary Club for more than 3 decades now. He has held a post of assistant governor and has mobilized a lot of CSR funds for mobile blood bank vans, mobile eye clinic, COVID relief, and many other good work that the Rotary people do. So we are fortunate today to have Iyengar sir with us. He will be speaking to us on the upcoming budget for April 2025.
So at the outset, I thank JanyuTech for giving me this opportunity to share my views about the finance budget 2025. My focus has been mainly on a few macro issues, which I thought I must share, and actually review the budget more from an applicability and the utility to JanyuTech as a company, and also some of the provisions in the budget which would be of interest to the employees and other individuals. So that is how I have actually structured the presentation. So this is a presentation on the finance budget 2025, as I mentioned to you. Some of the history of finance budget in India, which I felt was interesting. So it was, the first finance budget was actually introduced by Mr. James Wilson in India. So he was a finance member of the Indian Council and also founder of the Economist newspaper. So he presented it on April 7, 1860. No one would imagine that the Sepoy Mutiny in 1857 actually necessitated the finance budget in India. It was necessitated to address the financial turmoil that arose due to the Sepoy Mutiny in 1857. This I thought was interesting with a budget point of view. The second is the first budget of independent India in 1947 was presented by Shri R.K. Shanmugam Chetty on 26 November 1947 as the first finance minister from 1947 to 1949, and some other records in terms of number of budgets presented. Shri Morarji Desai presented 10 budgets, Shri P. Chidambaram 9 budgets, and then 8 budgets each by Pranab Mukherjee and former President Pranab Mukherjee and Nirmala Sitharaman. They presented 8 budgets each. So actually, the finance budget 2025 has identified 4 engines. The first engine is agriculture. Second engine is MSME, which is relevant to JanyuTech. The third engine is mainly with respect to investments in people, in economy, and in innovations. I thought again, investments in innovation could be relevant to JanyuTech. And the fourth engine is exports. I'm not too sure to what extent JanyuTech is into exports, but I thought that is also an area which could be of interest to JanyuTech. The aspirations of Viksit Bharat by 2047 was to accelerating the growth, spending power of the rising Indian middle class, and invigorate the private sector investments. So these are the main aspirations with respect to Viksit Bharat in the budget. As all of us are aware, there are various acronyms which are coined. As far as this budget is concerned, the acronym is GYAN, that is Garib Youth, that is Yuva, Annadata and Nari. And of course, it's a matter of pride for all of us that India is the fastest growing economy among all the major global economies. Now, there are several 10 various aspects which have been listed. Now, I also have done one thing. I have already shared this presentation with Mr. Bhushan, which can be referred. I have cross-referred the pages of the finance budget in each of the point, so that in case that needs to be referred later, it would be easy to refer. The finance budget runs actually 19 pages. Of course, there are annexures and appendix after that. Viksit Bharat encompasses zero poverty, 100% good quality school education, access to high quality, affordable and comprehensive healthcare, 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment, 70% women in economic activities, meaning thereby that 70% of the women folk in the country should be into economic activities, and not that 70% of the workforce has to be women. The farmers making our country the food basket of the world. So these are basically the major thrust areas from the Viksit Bharat point of view. There are 10 broad focus areas that were identified for GYAN, but I thought I will just pick up the ones that are relevant to JanyuTech. Furthering Make in India, supporting MSMEs, investing in innovation, promoting experts, nurturing innovation. These are specifically spelled out as the broad focus areas. Now I will go through the various aspects in the budget which could be relevant to JanyuTech, and I'm not getting into great detail, but these are more like pointers and for further review and further consideration in case JanyuTech would like to explore the opportunities of availing of those benefits. So pages 9 to 20, points 9 to 26. This is not pages actually. These are points 9. I'll send the rectified PPT later to Mr. Bhushan. Kindly read it as points 9 to 26 is pertaining to agriculture, which is the first engine. Then points 24 and 25 was interesting. That's why I wanted to share it with all of you. There are ambitious plans for the India Post Payment Bank to evolve as a large public logistics organization. The potential of the Indian postal system is immense because of its reach into distant rural areas. So this is likely to be a very explosive sort of a public sector entity. The next was again the unlocking of the potential of cooperative movement. So lending operations of National Cooperative Development Corporation. Now points 27 to 38, the MSMEs as the second engine. I thought this is relevant. The investment and the turnover limits have been increased 2 times to 2.5 times actually. There is an annexure given as the definition of micro enterprises, small enterprises and medium enterprises. It's there in the annexure. Now the credit guarantee has been enhanced from 5 crores to 10 crores. So then the point number 30 was with respect to the credit cards which are issued to micro enterprises. And there is this fund of funds for startups, an alternate investment fund of about 10,000 crores, which was further enhanced by another 10,000 crores. So this is another major impetus for startups. Point number 32 is a scheme for first time scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and women entrepreneurs. So there is a allocation which has been made with respect to that. Then 38 is with respect to the clean tech manufacturers for EV, solar, and those sort of this one. Now 39. So basically, there is a thrust with respect to the MSMEs, and of course, you have already availed of this one. Now 39 to 84 basically talks about investments, which is the third engine. Investments and innovation. Now, point number 79 is with respect to the private sector driven research and development and innovation. There is an allocation of about 20,000 crores for that. 80 is fund of funds established for deep tech. There is a thrust on exports here, and I had a few suggestions with respect to exports, which I have covered it in the last slide. So that is exports, the promotion mission which has been established, and there is this Bharat Trade Net with respect to the digital documentation, which this one is facility is available. Point number 90 was with respect to Industry 4.0 on high skills, focus on high skills and talent development. See, I actually felt that I will just pick up the ones which are relevant instead of going into great detail in each one of them, which would be, time consuming. So I hope this flow seems to be okay. So now, with respect to the direct tax proposals, of course, that revised direct tax code, the new income tax bill, the draft has already been introduced and it has been put in the public domain for review. Quick perusal of the the income tax bill doesn't seem to be very, very simplified, but there seems to be a rationalization which has been done. But income tax by itself is so complicated that it can't be made very simplified. And having said that, in fact, before I go on to the specific the amendments which have been brought up, everyone will agree that this the online portal of income tax, except for the the difficulty in actually filing and the cumbersome this thing of filing the return has streamlined the refund, especially the refund. This one which used to take very long time earlier for personal level, personal income tax where returns are filed. There, the refunds are all refunds and the assessments happen very fast. So that I find as one of the significant improvements in the income tax system in terms of the assessment. Now, in the budget was mainly with respect to the personal income tax reforms, especially for middle class, and then the rationalization to certain extent of the TDS and TCS by encouraging the voluntary compliance, reducing compliance burden, ease of doing business, and employment and investment. These have been specifically mentioned as the 6 focus areas in the direct tax proposals. Now, there is a TDS, this one for a increase in the limit for senior citizens from 50,000 to 1 lakh per annum. And to encourage voluntary compliance, the time limit to file updated IT returns earlier used to be 2 years. Now it has been increased to 4 years. And with respect to the house property income for individuals, earlier there was one self-occupied property that could be taken as nil value for taxation, but it came with certain attached conditions. But now they have simplified it and made it 2 self-occupied properties can be taken as nil without any conditions. There are certain other, this one in terms of withdrawals from the National Savings Scheme and the NPS Vatsalya accounts. This has been extended to normal NPS schemes also subject to the overall limits. And I mentioned already about that income tax returns, updated income tax returns. And the benefits to startups, again, has been extended by 5 more years. Incorporated, earlier it was up to 31st March 25, which has now been extended to 31st March 30 for the new startups. And the most important benefit in the personal taxation has been this increase of the taxable limit from 7 lakhs to 12 lakhs. And for salaried people, it is 12.75 lakhs, including the standard deduction. So this is definitely a significant increase in terms of the tax benefit. And the lower tax, of course, will boost the household consumption, savings and investment. One aspect which has been a bone of contention is this rationalization of the long-term capital gains tax to be taxed at 12.5%, and the indexation has been done away with. Of course, there are some old properties for which it is permitted, but this has been a bone of contention from a tax point of view. So I just found that these are the important ones which I thought I will share with all of you. There are some recommendations. I had a discussion with Mr. Chari, generally. So I was just wondering whether I could also give some suggestions to JanyuTech, so which I have listed here. Potential to export this is not concerned with the budget. These are certain other recommendations which occurred to me when I went through the website. So I have just listed these. There is a potential for export robotic for external glass facade wipers to especially the Gulf countries. Robotic solution for hormones plants and pharma companies it could be explored if it is not already being done. Then petro complexes, the cleaning of sludge during shutdowns is an area based on my personal experience. If it is not already done, it is an area where there is an immense potential for robotics. Then dedicated team for product applications and availment of benefits under the various schemes for MSMEs and startups and Government of India. It seems already has been done by JanyuTech. So broadly, these are all the the observations and the sort of provisions of the Finance Act, which I thought I will share with all of you. So I will stop with this. If there are any discussions, I would, we can have discussion, some clarification, we can have it.
These GST compliances, both now state government and the central tax authorities and one more authority, 3 authorities are having powers. They are empowered to, ask as a clarification or whatever it is. So do you think that that can be further rationalized? Because as it is, we have 3 authorities who have independent powers to send us a notice or asking for explanations, etc.
Absolutely, there is a potential to rationalize. See, from what I understand from this one, GST is an extremely complicated. All of us will agree that GST is a extremely difficult proposition to implement, which has been done, and there have been so many. We had so many different departments dealing with sales tax, and all of them have brought. So, to answer you, definitely there is a scope for rationalization, and it is likely to happen. But I agree to the sort of difficulty on the GST front in terms of the notices and in terms of this one. It can be rationalized and simplified. There have been so many officers who have been employed across various departments of excise and sales tax and all of them. Now, when it is one tax, all of them are still in employment. So, there have been certain distribution of the activities, I believe. So naturally, it is too cumbersome in terms of handling various.
The MSME, whatever incentives we are talking about, either CGT, MSC or other schemes, they are subject to a limit of top lines. Till you are a 50 crore company or a 60 crore company. Right. If I go back to 20 years back, what was happening was your incentive will be there up to you are a 2 crore company. So what people used to do, they will make several 2 crore companies. And that way, as government, we are not allowing mega companies to come up. We are sealing them indirectly, actually disincentivization. Because what happens when you are reaching a 50 crore level, if my CGTMSC cover is gone, then I'll have to bring in the collateral securities and other things as per the commercial bank terms. So, I'd like to have your views on this, sir.
See, this MSME definition and this thing which has been done, it helps to a certain extent in terms of having multiple entities of the past. So it gives a certain, certain benefits of the scale. So, but it would get capped at some point in this thing in terms of the size. So I don't think there is any solution to it. Nothing occurs to me immediately.
What is the tax rebate on Section 87A on this total 12 lakh limit? Tax rebate.
No, in terms of amount, you're saying?
From 7 lakh to 12 lakh limit, what would be the tax rebate provided by the government for the year 25-26?
See, they have provided, of course, those income that is charged at that special rate in terms of capital gains do not come under this, so that will get taxed. There is a table that they have given with respect to the various tax slabs and what is the benefit actually. It comes to some 80,000 or something like that, but there is a table. I will have to just check that and tell you guys. Yeah, here, 1 minute. It is 80,000 rupees.
80,000 up to 12 lakh rupees.
You may not be able to see on the screen, right? No, anyway, I'm not able to show that particular this thing, but the benefit is 80,000 rupees.
Okay.
It is.
Thank you, sir.
It is there in the budget document actually.
If I have open an office, if I open a foreign office, say for example Dubai or Singapore, whether I have to open in JanyuTech Singapore, I say same this one, or it should be a independent company which is associated with the JanyuTech. What is the advantage of that?
See, if you open it as a branch of JanyuTech, then it will be under the company itself, and it is not a separate legal entity over there. But it will be definitely having a permanent establishment status of the branch in that country, whether it is Singapore or USA. But it will be treated as a branch of JanyuTech India for Companies Act and for the tax, for the audit and accounting point of view. But if you start a company as a subsidiary over there of JanyuTech, then it has an independent legal entity, and then it will be governed by the laws of the corporate laws of that country, and then the whole scheme in terms of consolidation and all will. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I look forward to working with all of you.